what is the etiquette to ask your instructor, where do you stand with training? This is an interesting one, in my opinion, because this is where this open communication channel between you and your instructors come in. And whether you're dealing with one instructor or multiple instructors in the larger academies, I think these conversations between students are extremely, extremely important. And what I mean by this is, how can students know what to do to achieve their milestones if we never told them? At the same time, the student has also the responsibility to ask for these expectations. So it should be pretty clear and pretty straightforward as to what do I need to do to get better. Whether that means that you are seeking that new rank, whether that means that you're seeking a stripe on your belt, or maybe perhaps you're seeking getting better with jiu-jitsu just overall, or maybe you have some personal goals that you're trying to achieve. Perhaps competition is on the horizon that you're trying to get to. All those are individual goals that we really have to focus on, and we got to think about and then focus on and create a plan of action. When it comes to understanding where do you stand and how do you approach the professor, listen, this is not the cookie cutter, because there's a lot of history in jiu-jitsu, I think, and some instructors don't like to talk about this. Matter of fact, I do know that some instructors, prefer not to even discuss belts. Some of them even say, when you talk about, when am I going to get promoted? You're not going to get promoted. You're going to get pushed back right away by 6 months or 12 months. You need to understand what dynamic you have within your academy in order to find what the correct etiquette here is. What I can share with you is what my perspective on this is. When I work with my students, I particularly want to make sure that they work towards the goal that is set for them. Perhaps, one is trying to lose weight, so that could be a focus within jiu-jitsu. They still need to understand techniques. They still need to continue progressing through the curriculum and through what's expected of them to continue learning the jiu-jitsu journey. But there is also a point of, hey, listen, we need to be peeling off some of those pounds, because that was one of the goals for you. Sometimes these conversations arise when we have, 3 or 4 stripes on our belt, and we know the new belt is coming up. This is often where I do sit down for just a few minutes with the student and just continuously seeking the feedback from them and trying to understand where is their mind as far as their training. How is the training going? What's good about your training? Who's giving you a hard time? What's giving you a hard time? What particularly are you working right now, right? So some of these, really understanding where the student is mentally is extremely important to their progression, right? So I try to keep an open communication with all my students. I try to really understand where each student is, and it is hard to do all that when you have 200, 300, 400 students in the academy, but it is part of our job as instructors to really help them on a more individual level. Jiu-jitsu should not be cookie cutter. Jiu-jitsu should not be do this, and you get your belt. Remember, not everyone can be a black belt. 1, not everybody is going to be a world champion. 3, not everybody is going to compete. And 4, you know what? Sometimes we have students who train 6 times a week, and we have other students who train twice a week. And it's not fair to compare them side by side, simply because their life and the circumstances of their life are very different. So each of them should have a separate path with the different goals, and continue motivating, continue pushing them with the simple aim, the milestones far away of continuing training jiu-jitsu and continuing getting better as this knowledge base, as this phenomenal journey continues for each and every single one of us. So, going back to the original question is, I am a strong believer of having open communication channel with all my students. If you do want to talk to me, catch me after class, catch me before class. I'm more than happy to have a casual conversation, and I'm more than happy to have a serious conversations where we can actually establish some tangible goals. And no, you do not need to schedule a private to do that. That's part of I think being accessible to my students and allowing them continue driving. But as me as an instructor, as I look at the student and see their progression, you as a student, remember, you have the responsibility to know what these goals are. You have a responsibility to make sure that you are staying on track. So ask questions, talk to your peers, talk to the higher belts in the class, and feel free to approach me at any time. I'm here for you. The most important part is that you continue progressing and continue learning as we all enjoy this beautiful journey of Jiu Jitsu. Peace.